The bridge is on fire. Not the kind of fire that burns and dies. The kind that feeds on oxygen and hull plating and everything you built your life around. Through the smoke you can see the tactical display, and every single ship in your fleet is a red dot. Red means destroyed. Red means gone. Red means you failed. But the fire is not what breaks you. It is the voice still coming through your comm unit. Calm, quiet, patient, saying your name like it has all the time in the universe. It doesn't. Neither do you. But the countdown is not what you should be watching. But that's the middle. Let's go back. You have been Admiral for 11 days. That is how long it has been since the Conclave gave you the rank. 11 days since they pinned the insignia to your chest in a room that smelled like recycled air and fear. 11 days since someone handed you command of 437 warships. The last fleet humanity has. You are not the first choice. You know this because Admiral Vasek told you herself. The morning she handed over the command codes, she looked at you and said, "I didn't fight for you, but I'll die for you." That's the difference. Then she walked off the bridge, and you never asked what she meant. You should have asked. Your routine begins at 0500 standard. Cold water on your face from the recycler unit above your bunk. The water tastes like metal. You have stopped noticing. You walk the same corridor every morning. Deck 7, Section C, from your quarters to the bridge. 41 steps. You know this because you counted on the first day, and you have counted every morning since. There is comfort in things that do not change. The bridge smells like coffee and ozone and something underneath both of those things. Tension maybe. Or the specific fear of people who know exactly how outnumbered they are. Your crew does not flinch when you walk in. They stand straighter. That used to feel good. Now it feels like wait. The war began 9 months ago when the Keth arrived at the outer colonies. Not with a message. Not with demands. They arrived and they started reducing planets to silicate dust. No communication. No warning. No pattern anyone has been able to decode. Humanity mobilized everything it had. Fleet after fleet sent to meet them. Fleet after fleet gone. Now there is yours. And the Conclave. And a decision that has been sitting on your console for 6 days like a stone you cannot pick up. The decision is called Operation Threshold. You did not name it. Someone in the Conclave's strategy division named it, and you hate them for making it sound clean. The plan is simple. That is what makes it monstrous. The Keth have a command vessel. Every intelligence analysis you have seen confirms this. One ship, larger than anything humanity has ever built. Sitting at the center of every engagement like a brain at the center of a body. The theory is that the Keth fleet operates on collective signal. Every ship receiving instruction from that central source. The theory is that if you destroy the command vessel, the fleet goes dark, stops, does nothing. The theory is that this ends the war. The word theory is doing enormous work in all of those sentences. You have read the analysis 14 times. 14 times you have found the same word in the same place. Probable, not certain. Probable. The cost is not theoretical. To get close enough to the command vessel, your fleet has to commit completely. No reserves. No retreat formation. Everything forward. 437 ships. 81,244 crew. You know the number because you made them pull the exact figure. You made them put it in your briefing every single day. You want to know exactly how many lives are behind the word probably. On day 8, Commander Oren finds you in the observation room after midnight. The observation room is a dome of reinforced transpex at the ship's bow. You come here when you cannot sleep. The stars don't move. They are the only thing in your life right now that don't move. Oren sits beside you without asking permission. This is why you trust him. He has never once asked you for something you didn't have. He looks out at the stars and says, "I have a daughter on Earth. She's 7. She thinks I'm coming home." That is all he says. But you understand it as a complete argument. You sit with it for a long time. Then you say, "I know." And he nods. And neither of you says anything else. And that silence is heavier than anything the Conclave has ever handed you. On day 9, Vasek returns to the bridge. You did not summon her. She arrives in civilian clothes, hands behind her back, and stands at the rear of the bridge like she is visiting a museum. You call a recess and meet her in the corridor outside. She looks at your face and says, "You've been running the numbers." You say, "There are no good numbers." She says, "There never are. That's not the question." You ask her what the question is. She looks at you for a long time. Then she says, "The question is what you can live with after." She walks away again. This time you watch her go. This time you understand what she meant 11 days ago. On day 10, the conclave sends a priority transmission. They have received new intelligence. The Keth command vessel has changed position. It is now in range. For 48 hours only. Then it moves again, and the window is gone. The transmission ends with the words, "Awaiting your command, Admiral." 6 words. 81,000 lives. 48 hours. You stand at your console, and you feel the weight of every person on every ship in your fleet pressing down through the floor of the bridge. You have 3 options. You have laid them out yourself, on actual paper with an actual pen, because something about this requires your hand to move. Option 1. You execute Operation Threshold. You commit the full fleet to a direct engagement with the Keth command vessel. You go with probability on your side. You go knowing that your ships are not faster than Keth weapons. You go knowing that your losses in the approach will be severe. You go knowing that even if the theory holds and the command vessel falls, the Keth fleet does not simply vanish. You go knowing that what comes after is still uncertain. You go, and you bring Oren's daughter's father into the fire with you. And you bring Vasek's legacy with you. And you bring all 81,000 with you on the word probably. What you gain. The war might end. What it costs. Everything you are carrying right now. Option 2. You do not execute. You hold position. You buy time. You send back to the conclave and tell them the intelligence is insufficient and you need more. They will call it caution. Some of them will call it cowardice. You will know the difference and you will not care. You protect your fleet. You protect Oren's daughter's father. You protect your 81,000. For now. What you gain. Time. What it costs. The Keth will not stay in one place. They will keep moving. They will keep reducing planets to dust. There are still people on those planets. Every day you hold position, someone dies somewhere else. You will never know their names. That is not the same as those names not existing. Option 3. You find Vasek. You hand her back the command codes. You tell the conclave you are not capable of this decision. You remove yourself from the weight of it. You give it to someone who has already decided. You give it to someone who has already made peace with the cost. What you gain, you walk away. What it costs, you will never know if that was the right answer. You will spend the rest of your life in that not knowing. You fold the paper. You put it in your chest pocket. You walk back to the bridge. The Keth arrive before you give the order. Not at the command vessel's position. Here, at yours. The proximity alert fills the bridge like something physical. You have never heard it live before. It is much louder than the simulations. On the tactical display, new contacts. 43 Keth vessels moving into engagement range. Not the full fleet. Not the command vessel. A detachment. An advance party. Your tactical officer, Lieutenant Mira, turns to you and says in a voice that is completely steady, "They know where we are, Admiral." Not a question. Not a theory. A fact. Your first thought is, they have been watching us. Your second thought is, they have been waiting. Your third thought comes with the weight of the paper in your chest pocket. If they know where you are, they know what you are about to decide. And they are here because they do not want you to decide it. Which means the theory is not just probable. It is real. Oren is at your side before you can speak. He looks at the display and then he looks at you. He doesn't ask if you are afraid. He already knows. He says, "Give the order." You look at him. He says, "My daughter needs a world to grow up in. Give the order." Vasek appears from the rear of the bridge. Civilian clothes. No rank. No authority. She walks to the forward rail and stands beside you. She says nothing. She doesn't need to. Her standing there says it. "I'll die for you." That's the difference. The 43 Keth ships open fire. Your hull absorbs the first volley. Your defensive systems respond automatically. Your crew is already moving, already working, already doing the 1,000 things they trained for. You watch the tactical display. The command vessel is still in range. For 37 minutes. The paper in your chest pocket feels like it weighs everything. You open your mouth. The order you give takes 4 seconds to say. You do not remember giving it. You remember the sound of your fleet's engines igniting. You remember the display changing from holding pattern to attack formation. You remember the way the bridge lights shifted from standard to red alert, and how the red made everything look like the inside of something wounded. You remember Oren's hands on his console and the way he did not hesitate. You remember Vasek standing at the forward rail, watching the stars ahead fill with fire, and the stillness of her. The approach takes 19 minutes. You lose 62 ships in those 19 minutes. You watch the dots go from white to red on the display, and you count them, and you do not look away. You do not look away because they deserve to be seen. The command vessel is enormous. When it fills the forward display, it is like looking at a continent. Something that was never meant to move but moves anyway. Your fleet concentrates fire on a single point. Everything you have. The command vessel's response is immediate, and then it slows, and then it stops. Not destroyed, disrupted. Every Keth ship on the display goes dark simultaneously. Not red. Dark. Offline. The theory was right. The bridge is silent for 3 seconds. Then someone behind you says in a voice that is barely a voice at all, "It worked." You lose 401 ships. Out of 437. 36 ships remain, including yours. The conclave calls it a victory. They use that word in every transmission. Victory. You read it each time and you feel nothing. Then you feel something. You are not sure it has a name. Oren finds you in the observation room again. He sits beside you without asking permission. He is still here. He is still alive. His daughter still has a father. You are grateful for this in a way that does not feel like gratitude. It feels like something that survived a fire. Changed shape. Still standing, but changed. You say, 62 ships in the approach. He says, I know. You say, I gave the order. He says, yes. You say, I don't know if it was right. He is quiet for a long time. Then he says, neither do I. Vasek is not on your ship anymore. She transferred to one of the 35 remaining vessels during the engagement. She is alive. You received her transmission 6 hours after the battle. It said only, now you know what you can live with. She was right and she was wrong. You know what you chose. You are still learning what you can live with. You walk deck 7, section C every morning. 41 steps. The corridor is the same. The recycled water still tastes like metal. The bridge still smells like coffee and ozone and something underneath. But the fleet display shows 36 ships now. 36 white dots. And you know every one of them by name. Not the ships. The crew. You started learning their names 3 days after the battle. You do not know why this feels important. You know that it is. Somewhere, a 7-year-old girl is growing up on Earth. She does not know your name. She does not know what you chose or what it cost or how long you sat in an observation room staring at stars that do not move. She does not know, but she is there. And sometimes that is the only math that works.